Hey, what's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? This is 2021. Yeah, we are into 2021 finally. And so, how's the first day of work going for everyone? Um, well, I just want to give you a little bit of an update. Today, it's the first day of work for most people, and it's also the first day of official work that I start as I take on this new project itself. Absolutely fascinating project, and the whole premise behind the project is to help this fast growing company here in Singapore to help them break through in terms of their branding strategy and to be able to take on their SEO strategy and bring it to the next level. It is just amazing. It is just so amazing. So how's everyone doing? Yeah. I really just like to check in on you. And before we get any further, I just like to mention this that the A to Z guide it's out. And so what you do is if you want the A to Z guide to live streaming in 2021, and why do I keep mentioning 2021? Because I think 2021 has set the bar for live streaming to a different level because of COVID, because of the lockdown, because so many of us have undertaken the role of being a virtual presenter. And I think the whole premise of this, it's going to be really, really exciting. So if you want to be able to leverage live stream and become a live stream rock star, then definitely you want to check out livestream.rocks as is in the comments itself. So check that out. Go to that website, sign up for the A to Z guide. So what's going to happen is once a day, you are going to get a guide, one chapter of the guide. And so this is going to continue for 26 days itself. And so at the end of the 26 days, you would have the A to Z of live streaming in 2021. Now, all said and done, I just like to say thank you for the people who have been liking the video on LinkedIn. Ali, it's one. He has always been supportive of what I've been doing. Ranjit is the other person, and Ranjit is an engineer, right? And engineer in India, right? Hi, Ranjit. And third one is Jason. Essentially, Jason is a experienced 3D printing professional. I was dabbling with 3D printing for a while, but um, all that stuff about additive manufacturing got me all excited and kind of had a flashback for me back to the days where I was working with the manufacturing, the precision engineering sector. It was a lot of, I would say, a lot of fun, and it was an eye opener for me, right? And so, Jason, thank you for being here. Thank you for dropping by. And if you like this video and if the content that you find from this video itself, it's going to help you, make sure you hit the like button. All right, and let's dive deep into today's topic. Now, today's topic is about you only need feedback from one person. Now, who that one person is? Is it me, your mentor, or is it someone else that you will have to pay attention to? Well, I'll reveal that in a bit, but let me just say that I think many of you have taken on this idea of you have embraced the idea of live streaming. So, for example, one of my clients, she decided that she wanted to embrace the idea of live streaming, although it completely freaks her out, but she wants to challenge herself, and so in the process of doing so, she decided that she wants to go live, primarily because she also want to not have to deal with the fact that you have to do video editing and all that. However, I kind of prime her and warn her and also guided her in terms of what are some of the gear that she needs and all the technical details itself. So she decided to go on live, and she did a couple of videos. Then what happened was people start giving her advice and start giving her feedback. Oh, you shouldn't wear this on the video because it's this, right? Or they would tell her like, oh, you should consider wearing this um, on um, on the video itself, and giving her suggestions, right? Some people would say that, oh, you need to look directly into the camera, you shouldn't be looking elsewhere, and and all that, right? And some people would tell her that, oh, you should do your live stream at this time of the day, or this is how long your live stream is going to be, and all that stuff, right? And after a while, with all the feedback that she has gotten, I mean, some of them were good feedback, some of them were just, I think they are thoughts and opinions by other people. And so what happened was that day after day, as the comments starts coming in, she started getting nervous, right? She started getting nervous, and she began to think like, hey, is there something that I'm doing that is wrong? Is there something that I'm doing that it's not quite correct, right? And so that's when she came to me and she said that, I maybe you could point out to me, what's going on and all that. And she sounded all upset and all, and that was when I told her this. I say, well, look, you can get all these people to tell you what they think about your video. But all you need when it comes to feedback, you only need the feedback from one person. That one person is essentially, excuse me, that one person is essentially your audience, right? It doesn't matter that, um, Jason, thanks. I'll be happy to kind of find out more about 3D prints. So back to what we're talking about, yes, I mean, you could get the feedback from all these people, but there is only one person's feedback that is so important, and that is your audience. I mean, who else is going to tell you what you need to hear other than your audience? And what I mean by this is the following. Look, at the end of the day, you can have all these people giving you their opinions. The few things that you want to ask yourself is, A, are they experts when it comes to live streaming? B, are they doing live streaming themselves? Are they, master of the game? And C, why are they telling you all this feedback? Right. And so many people kind of jump into, um, you know, live streaming, and then after that very quickly gets discouraged because of the feedback, because of the comments that people will talk about, right? And of course there are people who are a little bit more conscious and a bit more anxious going live on the one platform compared to another platform. For instance, there are some people who think that, well, on Facebook, I'm good. I can just go live, right? But when on LinkedIn, I'm a bit concerned because of what I say, how I say it, and the image that I project. What will people say? Am I ready? Am I really, well positioned in this industry or in this space itself? Do I have the authority to do that? And so they get a little bit concerned in terms of what other people might say. Now, of course, for this group of people who have tried, I would say kudos to you. And what you need to do is just to focus the feedback from one person, and that's your audience. Now, for those of you who are hearing this and you're saying, oh my God, yes, I think people are going to be cruel, people are going to be nasty, I'm going to get some stupid or, negative comments, and that's just going to ruin my day. It's just going to be loss of face for me and all that. Well, if you're thinking about that and you are, like you were just thinking that, hey, perhaps I need to hold it off, perhaps I need to get someone to guide me. My answer to that is the following. Yes, it's true that I think you should rethink your strategy for live streaming. You do not just want to go live, because going live like that doesn't quite work. And you need a fair amount of preparation. You need a fair amount of thinking through. You need a fair amount of what you're going to say. And in addition to that, whatever you say, you actually have to take it several steps deeper. So the thing is that when you are thinking about going live, do not make the mistake, right? I mean, because you and I, we are not trained professionals in this field. We are professionals, we are experts in our field, but we are just using this as a platform, as an avenue, as a channel to get to the people who may pay attention to us. And that is the whole point. But what's more important here is that you want to be able to recognize that you want to practice in a safe environment, right? And in that safe environment itself, it's whereby you know that people are going to give you constructive feedback, right? You know that people are going to give you constructive feedback. You know that people are going to encourage you. Why? Because for the majority of them, they're in the same boat. So they are going to be more encouraging, and they are also willing and wanting to learn from your mistakes. You want to learn from their mistakes and their experiences as well. And you want to do that in such a way that you are able to enrich your whole experience and hopefully compress the time that you will take from being nervous to being confident on the live stream. You want to compress that time to a shorter period of time. So for those of you who are thinking, oh my God, is this what people would say? Would people be nasty? There will always be a possibility that this is going to happen, but not let that deter you from taking the first step. So if you fall into the category, here's what you want to do. Number one is you want to find a community of people who are like minded and who are willing to learn from their mistakes, who are willing to eat the humble pie and to be able to hear what people have to say about them. And then from there to, improve themselves and to find a better way to do what they're doing. Right. So you want to find a community like that. Where can you find those community? Well, I know a few communities out there that, support, it's supportive of each other and help each other in terms of their live stream, right? For me, I'm also building a small community of people. And speaking of which, next week I'm going to roll out to have just 5 people on board, right? 5 people on board to come in within this community itself, and then to be able to share, what are their struggles, and to kind of guide them along in terms of how they can become confident in front of the camera when they are doing live streaming. So find a community of people who are going to be willing and able to accept you for who you are, and also able and willing to help you get to where you want to be, right? And so once you have that, right, once you have that community, that is a safe place for you to practice. Now, so you may not want to practice in the open right now if you're unsure, and if you do not want to risk yourself, being in a situation whereby people leave you nasty comments. Then practice in a private area, practice in an environment that is supportive, practice in an environment that it's able to give you positive and constructive feedback to help you improve, right? So that is what you have to do if you fall into that category. Now, what do you have to do if you fall into the second category, which means you have already started going live, and now you're getting all this feedback that may or may not be all too flattering? So, what do you do? Well, so my advice to you in that respect is the following. Like I said, you have done something that arguably many people are still considering, pondering, wondering if they should execute on it. But you have actually gone on and take on that that objective to kind of help people and to want to do a live stream. And so this is where you differ. Now, you have already taken the first courageous step to do that. Now, the next step for you to do is that, of course, you want to do your research, you want to do your planning, but what's more important is you want to be able to pay attention and block out all these other noises and just pay attention to your audience. Because I could tell you for a fact that in today's context, having a million views is neat. I mean, it's cool, it's awesome. I mean, I want that too, but that is not the point, right? And that in itself, it's basically only a KPI that you should be looking at, right? Of course, as you do more videos, you want to get more views, right? I mean, if you keep doing videos and your videos views are going downwards, then obviously something has to change up. But if your views are going up, then that's good. And that's something that you want to pay attention to, right? But that in itself, it's not the end all and be all. What's more important in this case here is you want to find out what exactly is your business objective. And when I say business objective, essentially is what exactly do you want to get out of this channel itself, right? What do you want to get out of doing live stream? And so Jason has a question. He says that, well, it's 10 minutes a good time before losing the audience interest? Well, my answer to that question is basically this. I think it all depends on what content are you making, and who are your audience itself, right? I will be the first to admit that I have yet to actually sit through an entire live stream of other people, right? I would have a problem doing that because I just cannot imagine doing that and not knowing what to expect. But if I know what to expect, for example, earlier on, I just spent 8 minutes watching a YouTube video. And the reason why I wanted to watch that video was because that information was what I was after. And so, in that respect itself, 8 minutes was, it's just right, right, for me. And even if it's going to go beyond 8 minutes, actually, I went beyond 8 minutes because after that, I started binge watching the channel's video because the content was just so good and it was giving me the direction and the mental model that I need in order to do my strategic planning. So it really depends on the audience, it really depends on the topic itself. Now, naturally, of course, if your topic is something that everybody is doing, and when I say everybody is doing, I mean, these days, if you think about any topic itself, right? If you think about any topic, and if you go online and you start searching for the topic, and if you cannot find anything, you know that that it's probably something that you want to ignore, right? Because arguably any profitable niche or any profitable area, you would have someone who would already have made some content. So, if you are doing what everybody else is doing, then of course 10 minutes I think is going to be way too long, and I doubt people would stay for the 10 minutes to watch it unless you have a hook, unless you have a way to do your videos in such a way that people would actually pay attention. Otherwise, that's probably not going to happen, right? So one is, of course, depends on the content. The other, it depends on your audience itself. All right. So Jason, I hope I answered that question. So let's get back to our topic here today. I say that if you fall into the second category that has already taken the step to do live stream, right, and now you have gotten some feedback from people who want to give you good advice, but really these people are not your audience. These people are not the very target audience you want to get to. Then my advice is just to ignore them, right? Just to ignore them and focus on whether what is your audience giving you in terms of their response and feedback. Now, I would feel happy when someone tells me that they enjoy my live stream, but that is not bankable. What is bankable is if I have an audience, if I reach out to one person, just one person, if I reach out to one person and with that one person, I'm able to help that person take one small step into using live stream, into leveraging strategies for his or her small business, right? If I can just do that, then I have succeeded. So I do not care whether, the rest of the world think that my videos are boring, but as long as the very people that I'm making it for finds it fascinating, finds it informative, finds it valuable, that's all you need. Now, then the follow-up question is, if you're not getting that many views, how would you know that people are actually getting value out of it? Now, this is the part where you need to deploy, several strategies itself. And just for this episode itself, I'm just going to talk about one of the strategy. Now, one of the strategies that you can definitely do is the following. You want to be able to use what we call paid post to get to your target audience. Now, if you have already gotten some feedback from your intended audience, your target audience, and they say that, I like your content, it is valuable, it is insightful, it is actionable, then what you want to do is very quickly put in some money and then show this video to people who are like your target audience. Which means if you have not identified who are your target audience, please go and sign up for livestream.rocks, the A to Z guide, because chapter one under A, we talk about audience, right? We talk about audience. So make sure you sign up because that is going to give you an insight into what you can do. It's going to give you the process of how you can identify who are your target audience, right? Bearing in mind, context is 2021. All right. So make sure you check that. So if you know your audience and they are giving you some feedback, whether it's positive or negative, what you want to do is you want to be able to scale that up quickly, reach as many people as possible who are like your audience, and see whether it sticks. And what is the feedback they're getting, that they are telling you, right? And once you have those feedback itself, once you are able to have, like, a few thousand people to be able to give you the kind of feedback, that is where you are able to then navigate, and you then know what to change and what not to change. So my friends, the one person that you want to get feedback from, the only one person, it's not your mom, all right? I mean, sorry mom, but I love you and I know you love me, but you know your feedback, it's not something that I am looking at, but the feedback that I am looking at is feedback from you, the audience, the people who are actually watching this and who actually find value in this, and who actually find that there is something that I can offer you in terms of becoming better in live stream. All right. So if you are the one, make sure you give me a thumbs up on this video itself. I greatly appreciate that. The other thing is that if you want to, get hold of the A to Z guide, it is absolutely free. It just goes into a drip format. So every day you will get one chapter so that you don't get overwhelmed, and so that you are able to start reading the chapter. It's just very short. Just read the chapter and then do the worksheet that comes with that. Right. So once you've done that, it is good to go. And then the other thing is that I'm on this run to um, you know, gather more subscribers on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't already subscribed, please head on down to melvin.tv. Yes, melvin.tv. And if this is what you want, then go ahead and subscribe, right? But if this is not what you want, then we're cool. We're cool, right? But if you can, sign up as a subscriber. It means a great deal to me. I am working towards ramping up the number of subscribers that I have. But more importantly, for you, what's in it for you? Get that livestream.rocks A to Z guide, and I'm sure you are going to find it useful. Leave me a comment. What do you think? Is it useful? What else you want me to cover here on this channel itself? And I would definitely get to that. All right. So I'm still working out the content structure of what I'm going to be sharing this week. But as of today, we've come to the end of this segment where we talked about live streaming, and live streaming in terms of for small businesses, for the freelancers, solopreneurs, the one person, 1 million or digital business. That's what we're after. Right. So I'm going to be back again tomorrow, same time, same place, and I'll catch you there. If you want me to cover a particular topic, make sure you leave it in the comment. If not, thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye.